54 and 64. Hey, what's up, guys? We are working in the prop shop again, doing some fun stuff. So, realistically, we are making a glorified snapped in half broom handle. That is quite literally what it is. We have two dowel rods here at this length. They are a bit too big to be a snapped in half broom handle. So a broom handle, I googled this, is between 54 and 64 inches. These guys are 72 inches long put together, so way too big. So half of that, since this is going to be two halves of a broom handle we're making, half of 54 is going to be 27, and the other one's 32 for half of 64. So we're going to make, I feel like 32 is a bit too long, and one needs to be shorter than the other, because one's still going to be longer than the other and shorter than the other, right? So, because like the character, when he has his broom handle, he breaks it over his knee, right? So if he breaks it over his knee, it's not going to be a perfect in the middle. So we're not going to make him both a perfect like 27 inches for the handle here. What it's going to be, we'll say, if we say 27 ends up being our base, we're going to make one 29, and then the other one 25 is what I think we're going to do. So there's that. There's our 29. And this one is going to be 25 instead, which hopefully doesn't feel too much shorter. Try to find out where our mark is. So 25, 29. So we're basically saying it's 2 inches bigger. We're actually going to go, because that does look like a lot, we're going to make it 28 and 26. Okay, 28. Kind of eyeballing it, that's okay. Again, the character literally broke it over his knee. Yeah, 28 and 26 looks good. Okay, cool. Next part, super duper easy. Typically I would use a machine for this, but it's fine. Yeah, this is safe. Man, that sucks. Wow, that does not want to go. That's very annoying. Oh yeah. That's the stuff. I suppose might as well use a mice, because never know. Ears and nose, and shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Yeah, I am quite the woodworker here. Oh yeah. Nice. Oh man, that is tough going back. But let's go forward. There we go. It can look pretty bad. That's kind of nice. Haha. Yeah. Is that our long one? That's our short one. Okay. was about to say, that looked a little too short to be our long one. I gotta get this started. It's not going to be perfect. I don't really have a great. And that's the long side. Cool. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. What did I say? Let's try to get a little bit more of the workshop in frame. All right, that's more or less the hard part. Love that that's in the air. Okay. Look, woodworking is not exactly what I do. This is more like a means to an end. We're putting we're putting two like dowel rods together. It's not exact. We're not making anything crazy cool here. It's just ironically going to take more work than I thought it was going to. And you know, kind of don't have the best tools for it. Not a woodworker. What grit sandpaper is this? That's a great question. It's not really for me to know. We are going to get this whole thing, though, a little bit smoother. Woodworking is not my thing, man. A means to an end. They have this really like blue paint on the end of this for some reason. I don't know why. Wow, that just makes this feel so much nicer. Cool. We are actually going to, whatever, take a few chunks out of this, out of the end, make it look a little bit more snapped. This is just a fun project. Probably gonna this is probably a terrible thing to use my quote-unquote good box cutter for. This is not too perfect. This stuff I do hate here in the end. So if you ever pro woodworking tip right here for you. If you ever don't have any like small pieces of sandpaper to use, just take a belt from your belt sander. Just use that bad boy. And actually, even better, instead of using the belt sander here, see how good that worked? Worked so good to make my phone shut down. Yeah, we're on the phone today because the computer's upstairs, and I didn't feel like making a whole setup. You know, too much work. Too much work. Yeah. Who needs to plug in the belt sander? That's pretty good. Oh man. See, if I was in this cosplay, I would totally go over and clean. I've been cleaning a lot lately, and this entire like hero's thing is that he cleans. So he's called the janitor. So therein lies the secret of what this guy is all about. I didn't say I liked cleaning though. It's more of a means to an end. Making this look beat up. There we go. This really is not rough enough. Take this paint off. I mean, it really does not have to be perfect. But that's all right. There we go. We're almost gonna make one end kind of like jagged. I want it to be noticeably thinner than the rest of the rod. But yeah. Fun. How's everybody doing? Doing good? Good. The last prop shop we had was probably, is building the Peacemaker helmet just before SuperCon, which actually could maybe move it more so like that. You can see the Peacemaker helmet right there. Yeah, so the last time we were live, we were working on this guy, who, I'll admit, did not turn out perfect, but still turned out. He started to exist, which was cool, you know. Hey, howdy, hey, what's up, Sherry? So yeah, that was the last thing we made. Now we're just cracking out these guys. How is everything going? You need a cool mask. What kind of cool mask? Is it a hopefully not functional, because I can't do that. Well, I can probably maybe do that, but not like doctor recommended functionality. This side's fine. This is fine. Yeah, what kind of mask? Would it be like an eye mask, or what we're now used to being like a face mask? Because bit of a difference. Yeah, I don't get why there's this super thick blue paint. Super annoying. I hate it so much. I'm only doing this. I did not want to plug in the belt sander because it's just too much noise right now. An eye mask. Okay, cool. Trying to make sure my phone doesn't fall down. Okay. Is it a certain character, or is it a original design, or are we going for a certain look? My Wi-Fi is struggling too, it looks like. That's alright. So it's going to kind of go together like that. So that's basically it. It doesn't tie on. It doesn't say so like if it doesn't tie on, the only other kind of like eye mask I know of, if it doesn't have a string, would be one that you put like spirit gum around everything, and then you press the mask against it, and then it sticks to your face using like spirit gum. Or we'd have to do like an eye mask, and then it has like hooks, like how glasses have those little hook deals. If we don't want it to be a tie, it could always just be an elastic band that's like always, something like that. There's a few different ways to like put an eye mask on, So that's this bit. I need to bring my vacuum cleaner down here. So, next up, we have this bad boy right here. Elastic band. Yeah, I think elastic band is solid. Let's grab. Typically, I'd have a towel to put down. I don't want to dye my workbench. Let me grab a brush. Oh, my brushes are right here. Yeah, it's gotta work. I bought a wireless mouse, but I just hate the way it feels, specifically with my ring finger. It's painful. It's very annoying. I just need to grab a quick piece of paper or cardboard. right. Twerk bench. Yikes. Yikes. I guarantee no one has done any twerking on this bench. You north of Kennebec with the family. I am. I'm in our, I guess, our normal. I guess we're north of Kennebec. I always just consider that I'm at home. I'm at home. So I'm home. The whole family, all that fun stuff. You tell this workshop doesn't look like an apartment. It looks a little too nice. All right. Hey. How have you been? I am at mom's, dad's, home, etc. I have been great. Peyton, how are you doing? That's good. We are just about to wood stain it here. I bought this forever ago. Dark walnut. I think it's going to work just fine. And if it doesn't, if it's not perfect, that's okay. I do need a screwdriver to open it, though, really quick. There we go. Man, I've not used this in probably close to 4 years. I'll do my best to tell everybody hi. It'll be a minute before I can tell Dara, because she's at school. Ugh. It smells so good. I guess I won't block the main shot here. That is so dark. Wow, wow, wow. I love the way that brings out all the scratches and stuff, though. All the little marks I put in here. That's pretty cool. Normally that'd freak me out if I was, like, actually cared that this... Yeah, deep breaths. Deep breaths around this stuff? No. No. Probably not gonna super duper inhale this jazz. Thank you for the... whatever advice. Should just grabbed a rag. Oh, am I well ventilated? The answer is no. It's the basement, so it's not well ventilated at all. And I can kind of, I feel my brain cells dying just a touch. I can tell that I'm burrowing a hole in some gray matter right now, but it's not crazy. It's nothing nuts. Yeah. The work high is pretty fun. I guess it's important to wear gloves when doing this. You don't really want it to seep into your skin. I read that about spray paint a while ago, so I imagine it would stay true for like this type stuff. I love the way that looks, though. Man, that looks cool. Who'da thunk wood isn't naturally this dark and cool looking? It's actually, we gotta use rub and buff to make it look cool. Yeah, that's gonna look so dope. I'm so excited. This is definitely my kind of cosplay here. I see you are safety health stick. I am. Yeah. Safety third, as we say, which is way higher on the list than most people put safety. Actually, fun fact, was safety third. No. My mask is upstairs right now. If I wanted to be wearing my whatever mask, we'll fan it around there a little bit. That looks so cool. That looks really cool. You know, I kind of take after my grandfather in that way, that I just really care about safety. You know, I'm a eye protection, ear protection, you know, gloves kind of guy. What can I say? That's the way Jim was. That's the way I am. I just take after him a lot in that way. Is that we're both very, very safe, and we both care about, you know, making sure nothing dangerous happens, making sure everybody is 5 feet away from the tractor when it's about to, yeah, baler's about to go or whatever. We're going to go that far with this piece because I'm running out of room to hold on to it. We'll just start the second piece. That looks cool, though. It looks really cool, and I'm very excited about that. This piece is heavier. Why? Because there's more of it. Okay. Gotta do a little bit here on the end. But no, so like basically this character uses a snapped in half wooden mop handle as a weapon. So that is what I'm making. Instead of getting a real broom or mop and breaking it over my knee like he does, instead I am taking 2 dowel rods and making the 2 halves of the broken mop. He quite literally duct tapes both halves together, which I love. It makes it very easy. And this is just kind of a fun cosplay. It's no award-winning competition cosplay. It's just one where it's like, wow, I really enjoyed that movie. It was really funny that all he used for a weapon was literally a broken broom handle, or mop handle, I should say. And that's basically it. And he was just, I mean, Nicolas Cage was the main actor, so of course he was a total badass in it, so obviously that also makes it cool. Not that I'm saying I'm Nicolas Cage. We all know I'm way more a Vin Diesel than Nicolas Cage, of course. But yeah, so that is what we're making. We are making quite literally 2 halves of a broken broom, or mop handle. Wow, I've said broom a million times. Of a broken mop handle, and that is his weapon. We're literally just gonna duct tape it together once this dries, and that's the prop. The prop was literally cut these pieces to roughly about the right length, because I don't have specifics anywhere. Well, I had the specifics. I know how long a mop should be, so I just had to make it look like what roughly 2 halves would. The movie is called Willy's Wonderland. It is a horror thriller type slasher movie. It's on Hulu, or if you've seen it, it came out last year. It's a great movie. I could talk about it literally all the time, or like literally for hours, because it's so funny. So the rundown, the plot is, if you're familiar with like Five Nights at Freddy's or any similar type video games, this pizza place has animatronic mascots, and they are possessed, and they are trying to kill Nicolas Cage. That's the bare minimum without getting into crazy specifics. That's the movie. And Nicolas Cage has to survive the night and fend off these killer animatronic pizza mascots, basically. And he just kind of uses what he has around him. So he's cleaning. He's the janitor in the movie. So he uses his mop handle to fight off the mascots. It's a really funny movie. It's hilarious. It's my kind of horror movie. I don't really like the Halloween or like Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, or Friday the 13th, because it's just kids running away and being scared the whole time of like the main slasher or killer. And in this movie, very much like an Evil Dead type movie, Nicolas Cage's character just beats the ever-living crap out of all of these animatronic robots. Like, it's, I won't say effortless, but he's a total badass while doing it, and he just bodies all of them, just destroys them, right? So that's my kind of horror movie, where it's like, oh yeah, that is a scary thing, and I would be scared if I was in that situation. But then also, the guy's fighting back, and he's just killing these things, you know? Like, it's like what everybody says, you know, if you were fighting Chucky, why don't you just punt that little guy like a football? You know, and like that's basically Nicolas Cage with these mascots. So it's a really fun movie. I say light on a horror movie because it's played up to be a horror movie, right? It's got like the, oh no, blood and guts, and it's a little gory, but it's also just so ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous that you really aren't that scared, you know. And I love that so much. Yeah, kind of Zombieland. It's kind of Zombieland style, I would say, because it's like they're like scared of the zombies, right? But they really don't have too much trouble with them, you know. Where it's like a fun horror movie. It's not like funny haha, like how Zombieland is like, oh, they're cracking jokes and oh, Bill Murray's, you know, here, and there's like the fun back and forth. It's not so much funny haha. It's more like it's funny because of the ridiculousness of the situation that's like happening. Which reminds me, I haven't seen Zombieland 2, and I need to watch that one of these days. Oh, I got a ton on my finger just then. But yeah, it's like a Zombieland where it's like, oh yeah, sure, there's zombies, there's monsters, but like I'm not really that scared, you know. You're still scared for like their protagonist, like in Zombieland, where you're like, you know, these characters very well could die, and I am a little scared for them. All right, there we go. You know, now that I'm looking at these, I should make my Daredevil batons, because this was basically effortless. These two bits aren't long enough for like Daredevil's batons. This one's like almost long enough. This is too long. But yeah, I really should make my Daredevil batons, because he just has like wooden sticks like this in season 1 of Daredevil. But that's basically the prop, because I have to wait for this to dry. Then I have to paint this little bit after this part dries. But they look cool. So yeah, maybe this weekend, I might go to a convention this weekend. I don't know, but I'll try to have pictures for everybody from that. Hopefully with this prop that we just made. I ironically didn't have duct tape, but you can always use more, so I did just buy a roll of duct tape. I didn't have duct tape that I could easily find, so I was like, I'll just buy some, which is never a bad idea. So yeah, that's the prop. Thank you guys so much. It's so easy to get much more work done when it's like, all right, people are watching, you know, get to it. But yeah, guys, that's it. We're done. We'll check back in a few days, and there will be a finished product probably on your Facebook feed. See ya.